Let me ask this. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? I know it's a really random question to ask on a D&D channel, but I promise it's going to make sense later. Let's hypothetically say your favorite flavor is chocolate and your second favorite flavor is vanilla. Now, would you rather take option 1, which is 2 scoops of your favorite, which is chocolate? Would you rather take option 2, which is a scoop of chocolate and vanilla, but you get to put as many toppings as you want on it? Like I said, it's going to make sense later, but I think you guys didn't come here to hear about ice cream. You guys were wondering why I think variant humans are really overrated. Okay, so first things first, this is obviously just my opinion. So take what I say with a very small pinch of dust of sneezing and choking, let's say. The other thing, too, is that I'm not saying variant humans are bad by any means. They're actually really, really good, and I'm a huge optimizer. They're probably top 5, if not top 3 best races to pick. I just think certain races can fill the roles a bit better and get some sprinkles on top as well. I think also variant humans are very well for very, very early level campaigns. Let's say campaigns are going to end between levels like 4, 5, and 6. But if your campaign is expected to go a long time, say past like the 2 or 3 ASI points, so I would say level 11 or 12 plus, I think picking another race is highly, highly viable. We're going to be leveling up a barbarian, of course, totem. One is a half-orc, the other one is a variant human. They're both going to be choosing Polar Master as soon as they possibly can. We're going to be using point buy. In addition to that, we're going to be trying to max out our strength as soon as possible. So we're going to level up these guys side by side, and you can notice the difference. So let's go ahead and level them up. Level 1, you can see their ability scores. Because half-orc had that hanging +1 modifier like to strength, they can actually buff up their wisdom a little bit higher. I don't like having a negative or even an even wisdom on my barbarian, but it is what it is. So at level 4, and again at level 8, and I think this is a good stopping point because you can tell that the variant human has already hit 20 in strength, which is really, really awesome. So at this point, you're probably thinking, hey, the variant human already won. But that's not necessarily the case, and at what cost? I mean, they have a +1 to attack, to damage rolls, as well as athletics checks, but that half-orc has all those sprinkles that I was talking about before. So that first scoop of chocolate ice cream is they both have Polar Master. That's something that they both wanted for their barbarian character. They both have it. That second scoop of chocolate ice cream is that the variant human has a 20 in strength. But that scoop of vanilla ice cream that the half-orc has, its strength isn't necessarily maxed out, has a +2 to wisdom, so it's shored up its mentals a little bit, but it has these sprinkles of Dankvision, relentless endurance, and savage attacks. So at least in my opinion, I think some of the sprinkles actually offset the fact that you're only behind by 5% when it comes to hit and damage rolls, things like that. So let's go ahead and do it again, except we're going to look at the sorcerer instead. And so this time, what we're going to do is the same rules apply. They're going to go for Warcaster, and they're going to try and max out Charisma as much as possible. So we're going to compare the half-elf as well as the variant human. You can see the comparison side by side at level 1, at level 4, and again at level 8, and that's where we can stop it. So because half-elves honestly get a +4 ASI, the reason why they have +2 Charisma and 2 floating +1s, honestly, I think half-elves are just flat out, just straight up better Charisma casters compared to variant humans. That's just my opinion, because as you can see, the sprinkles are just so much better because they get an extra proficiency, they know an extra language, they have Fey ancestry, as well as Dankvision. These are all things that they have over the variant human. And I think why the variant human is so, people think it's so overpowered, is because they basically have something similar. I mean, basically a feat costs +2 ASI, so humans get those 2 +1s as well as that feat. But all the sprinkles that the half-elf gets, I think far outweighs the fact that the variant human has a +5% chance to hit and a +5% chance for creatures to fail at saving throw. And if you still don't believe me, let's go ahead and take a different approach, starting all the way back at level 1. So let's say we're picking a variant human, and we're going to go ahead and turn those half-orc and half-elf racials into feats. If it doesn't make sense what I'm talking about, let me show you. So let's say there was a feat that gave you +1 to strength, gave you Dankvision, which is usually useless on most races, but since you're a human, you might need it. Gave you relentless endurance, as well as savage attacks. That's actually pretty good for a half feat that give you +1 strength. I don't think it's necessarily great weapon master good, but I think most variant humans are easily going to take that either at level 1 or at level 4. I mean, it's that good. And if you did take it at level 1, you basically just became a half-orc, so why not just pick a half-orc at the very beginning? Same thing with half-elf, although I think it's really cheating because their equivalent to a variant human would be a +2 to charisma, advantage on charm effects, can't be magically put to sleep. They have Dankvision, they get an extra skill proficiency as well as an extra language. I mean, that's a complete and utter no-brainer for any variant human to pick that, feat. starting at level 1. Like, there's no reason not to take it. It's honestly that good. And so that's what I mean. I think the advantages of Variant Human, why everyone thinks it's overpowered, is because you get a feat really, really, really early. You get to take advantage of it for the first 3 levels, but then you get to max out your ability score improvement first rather than anyone else, which is nice. But at the same time, like, all the sprinkles that you get from the other classes far outshines a 5% chance to hit or to spell save DC or anything like that, at least in my opinion. And Variant Humans are not bad by any means. If you absolutely have to have a feat and max out your main stat as soon as possible, then Variant Human is by far the best race to pick. I mean, especially, I realize there's exceptions, but especially something like Rogue, like maxing out your dexterity as soon as possible affects your to hit rolls, your damage rolls, your dex skills, your initiative, your AC. That's why dexterity is, quote unquote, the god stat that everyone talks about. So I realize it's really important for certain classes. So I'm not saying this is a hard and fast rule, but I just hope that everything I showed you guys can kind of take a step back from all the noise, saying that Variant Human is the best no matter what. I really hope I was able to change your guys' mindset on the Variant Human and make you guys have a much more well-rounded, optimized character than just maxing out your main stat for the most part. But more importantly, I hope I made that bowl of chocolate and vanilla ice cream with the sprinkles on it a bit more appealing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and put some comments down there about what you guys think my opinions are on Variant Humans, your favorite flavor of ice cream, or if you guys have any ideas for my future videos. I wish you guys the best of luck on your next game, but more importantly, your next role. And remember, you have an advantage.